You can earn over $500 for a single website built and sold in minutes using free AI. I have students in my private community making $10,000 or more per month doing exactly this. And here's the full breakdown. One TikTok creator is stacking millions of views just by posting websites that he's built. His most popular video has 3.2 million views, and I'm not going to play it because he's using copyright music, which is going to obviously flag my video on YouTube, but it's effectively that's all he's doing. He's building these and previewing them. And they're called wearebrand.io. And this is their website. It's super simple. They're using it as a lead funnel. So this is a landing page with name, country, email, phone number, specification. Basically, he's targeting people that want websites. You can even talk to him on WhatsApp, and it's a very simple landing page, but actually a quite brilliant strategy. And these are the easiest videos you can create. He's literally built the website on his laptop and he's recorded it with a smartphone and just added some captions. It's really quite simple. And the reason this business model works is because he's got the social proof, which is millions of views on TikTok. He's got thousands of followers and he's using it to drive traffic to his landing page. So it's all inbound demand without hard selling. The videos sell themselves. I mean, he's doing some really huge numbers, right? Like 300,000, 200,000. You don't actually need that much traffic for this to work. So the first step is to find your clients in under 5 minutes or less. And for this, we're going to use Google Maps because most local businesses don't even have a website, or if they do have a website, it's really basic. And you can find dozens of these with almost no competition in your town or city. So I've got Google Maps here and I live in sunny Singapore. So you're going to see my results for Singapore. And I've done a search for barbershop. The reason I'm using barbershop is because most of them where I live either A, don't have a website, or B, it's a very basic website. It's like WordPress or something like a 12-year-old's built, right? It doesn't have any professionality. It doesn't want to make me use their service. And so this is a great example. It's called Barber's Alley and all they have is an Instagram, a phone number, a booking link, which I believe is through WhatsApp, but no website. And this is perfect because we can build them a website and pitch it to them really easily. And because it's locally to you, they're not that hard to close. You can actually go see them in person if you had to. So the first thing you want to do before you build a website is you want to grab some pictures. And Google is great for this because even though they don't have a website, they'll be posting either their pictures or pictures from their customers, and you can take screen grabs of this. I'm going to grab this one because it's the front of the shop, save it, and I'm going to grab some of these custom images as well. This one's got the logo on there, so that works really well. And I'll take this one as well because it's actually got the barber in there. And just save these on your desktop. It doesn't really matter where they go. We're going to import these into Google Gemini. The next step is to head over to gemini.google.com. I'm actually using the pro plan, but you can do this with the free plan, the free tier. Upload the main reference image. So this could be the store itself, picture from outside the store, which is what I've done here. And this is the prompt I'm going to use. So design and build a visually striking landing page for Barber's Alley using the provided reference image as inspiration. The page should feel modern, stylish, and premium with tasteful motion and scroll-based animations powered by GSAP. This is very important because this is going to give it that premium look. It's going to look classy, it's going to be dynamic, and you're going to be able to charge a lot more money for it. Deliver everything in a clean, well-structured HTML focused on performance and visual polish. There is just one more step, and you want to select tools and canvas. Click on submit, and let's see what Gemini can come back with. So you can see here that Gemini is actually building out the entire website. I'm not touching any of this code. It's all done through their AI. And this is writing anywhere between 300 to 500 lines of code. And if you do any programming, this will take you a couple of hours to build this yourself. So let's see what the final product looks like. And yeah, I'm really impressed. This is pretty sick. I mean, look at this. It's added some complementary images. Now, I wouldn't use the ones that Gemini provides, even though they're amazing, because you want to personalize the experience, right? And the result is way better than what you'd expect from a 60-second build. I like the colors that it's chosen, looks very premium. So black and gold is always premium, right? Like anything premium will usually have this kind of color palette. And things like this you can adjust. They usually have that on their website or their branding. I believe they have been open for 15 years, so this is actually correct. I'm not sure about the 2,500 clients served. You can always add that, adjust that later. The point here is to make it very premium. There's a few placeholders that is added, but then we can take these images from their Google Maps listing and we can update that. We can add more services and products. We can update the gallery. But honestly, as a first pass, this is really good. Now, the way to capture these leads for clients, you have a couple of options, right? For barbershops, they usually just want certainly where I live, they just want a WhatsApp message, or they take you to a calendar and you can book it like an internal system. Some of them have mobile apps that you can integrate into this form, and you can do that using something called a webhook or an API, and that will then seamlessly integrate into Google Gemini. You just paste either the webhook address or you get the API details. It's a bit more complex. I mean, the easiest way to do this is just to contact them, have some kind of contact on here through a WhatsApp number, which is what the Barbershop Alley is doing anyway. So when I click on their contact us link, it takes them to this WhatsApp message, so I can just continue the chat on either through the app or through the web, which is very common where I live in Asia. But again, just kind of modify this to your part of the world and the technology stack that your local clients use. It's going to be very different depending on where you live. Now, if you want to integrate any screenshots that you've taken for this particular business, you need to host it somewhere outside of Google Gemini. The best place that I found is IMGUR. It's completely free and you can host it on here. So let's click on new post and choose photo or video, and then just upload the image that you've taken screenshots of. Grab the link and then head back into Gemini and tell it to basically add this image in the relevant section. So this is a customer image. So I might put it somewhere like this, right? So add this URL image into the sharp cuts and fades section. I'm going to paste the IMG URL. And let's see if Google Gemini can update this. Now, it might take you, a couple of goes back and forth, but that's fine. You're not coding any of this yourself. You just got to prompt it and let the AI do it for you. And this is how you personalize it. You can do this with images. You can do this with customer reviews and testimonials. You can do this with any content that's publicly available on Google Maps. And after a bit of tinkering inside the prompts, you're going to get something that looks like this, which is absolutely superb. Now, the key here is don't overdo it, right? Like, you just need a landing page, something where the potential client can kind of get their toes wet. You just need something to get you inside of the door, right? Once you agree the contract, they pay for it, then you can make this even better, right? You can integrate it with their booking system, with their WhatsApp, or however way they make appointments. The most important point at this stage is to make the website as glossy as possible. So now that you've built the website for free, this is how you turn it into $500 or more in your pocket. So head back over to Google Maps and do this for 10 businesses. 10 businesses either per day or per week. This is just a numbers game, right? The more you contact, the easier it's going to be. But you don't want to spend too much time developing these landing pages because you're going to get a lot of knockbacks, right? So the way to do it is to follow this particular process. Now, Barber's Alley doesn't have a website. It hasn't got an email address. It's actually not that far from where I live. So in the first instance, I would actually go and see them. The other option is if you don't want to do that, you can reach out to them on Instagram because they do have an Instagram, so you can send them a cold DM. You can phone them because they have a phone number. Or what I will probably do is they're on WhatsApp. So I'm going to just send them a link to the website on WhatsApp. And if you stick around, I'll even show you how you can host this for free. But honestly, the sky's the limit here. With local businesses, they love face-to-face interactions. And honestly, there's so many barbershops where I live. I mean, look at this. This is like not that far from me, right? This is within like 30 minutes of where I live. And this is just barbershops. You can contact restaurants. Dentists are great because a lot of them have websites, but they're not very good. Lawyers, opticians, there's so many businesses that you can do this for. And you can knock these out pretty quickly. Now, you have two different pricing models that I work with inside of my community and with my students. The first is the easiest, and that is just to charge a flat fee. So you can charge anywhere between $500 to $700 for a website like this. If you're doing this and you're just starting off, maybe you want to consider selling it for something like $300 just to kind of get your foot in the door, get some testimonials and get some runs on the board. The second model is the agency model, and this is way more profitable in the long term. So you can charge 10 clients $200 per month. That's a recurring revenue of $2,000 per month. And this is the one that's the most sustainable because you have bills to pay, you've got an agency, you're buying apps and services, you might even have people working for you if you want to scale this up and go really aggressive. So you want money coming in, you need revenue. And this is the most scalable. This is how I scaled my personal agency to 5 figures per month. I charge retainers. And my last tip for you is to target businesses with a weak digital presence. So barbershops are great, nail salons and services, local services, especially if they're highly ranked on Google Maps. So these are sponsored posts, but these next ones, they're getting a lot of traffic. And I've seen businesses locally to where I live, they're pretty high up in the rankings for Google Maps, but they have no online presence, no digital presence. And trust me, guys, this is the easiest client to convert because trust is always the biggest obstacle after price. And trust is the easiest one to overcome because you live in the same town or city and you can meet face to face. The last step before you approach these potential clients is to host it. And you don't need to pay for hosting or a domain to send a preview. This next step is 100% free. So where you are inside of the canvas, just change it to code and copy this entire code. You just hit Control A or Command A, copy, and then open up a notebook or cursor or any type of text editor. Paste this code inside of there, but save it as an index.html file. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything else. Once it's saved, head over to netlify.com. This is like an online hosting platform and it's completely free. You don't even need a domain name. So it will just be like a generic domain name. So netlify.blah.com/ and then it'll be your landing page for your business. And so all you can do is literally super simple. A 10-year-old can do this. You just drag and drop the index.html file that you created in the last step. And it tells you that, right? You can drop a folder with your product's HTML, CSS, or JS files. We'll give you a link to share it. And that's it. Once you have the link, share it with your prospective client. Once they're happy with it, you sign a contract, you agree to terms, make sure you get the final budget and everything agreed. Then you can add the domain to this website. So you can actually do that inside of Netlify. So in my example, it was Barber's Alley. I can get their barbersalley.com.sg domain and integrate it into Netlify. And I can make it better. I can add testimonials, reviews, I can add their services, I can integrate it into WhatsApp, their booking system, whatever they need. And I'm going to give you one last tip because even if you get rejected, don't take it personally and use that to acquire your next client. Because if businesses say no, you're not done. You just unlocked a new customer acquisition channel. And all you do is just copy this wearebrand.io strategy. You literally record a quick talk, post it on their reels, and just copy their captions, use the same music they're using, and just keep posting. You don't even need to post that much. You can do 2 or 3 talks a day, which honestly doesn't take that long. It takes about anywhere between 1 to 3 minutes per talk. And there's no production value in any of this. He's literally using a handphone and recording his laptop because website previews attract a lot of followers. That's exactly what this TikTok profile is doing. And not only followers, you're gonna get millions of views and hundreds, if not thousands, of inbound leads. And honestly, scaling this isn't that hard. The way to do it, if you have time and if you build this into a side hustle, is try and aim for 5 to 10 websites per day. Now remember, it only takes 2 minutes per website, right? That's from finding it on Google Maps to generating the landing page inside of Google Gemini. So honestly, you need about an hour, maybe 90 minutes per day to do this if you're working a 9 to 5. And all you do is just compound the effort. So more posts equals more social proof, more websites equals more portfolio examples, and more rejections just equals more content on your TikTok. And you don't need to code any of this, right? This is very straightforward. This is simple. You can even grow a team of people. You can ask family members, your spouse, your partner to help you build this. It's super easy. You can template this. It's a very cookie cutter approach. And honestly, the sky's the limit. The guys inside of my community that are doing 10,000, one guy I think did like 15,000 last month, and they're killing it. So this is a great opportunity to either build a side hustle, a business, and scale it up pretty quickly. You just saw how to build and sell a $500 website in under a minute for completely free. Now imagine running this 10, 50, or even 100 times. That's your superpower. And if you love this tutorial, click and watch the next video on screen. Like this one, leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time.